here, and then we're going to go up some more stairs, and we will have a stop at the room that is above the ceiling that you can see just above there, which is the clock tower. We'll have a little break there. It's about halfway up. Sorry?
Do you biscuits?
If you brought some, yes.
Have a little picnic. Yep.
And then it's another similar spiral staircase to another room, which is the bell chamber, where we will stop and listen to the bell strike 12. And then the last little bit, which is like the last quarter, all the way up to the roof. So we will be going up in two go, so you have a break, get your breath back. And then we'll come back all the way down in a one. So that's what we're going to be doing. A little bit about where we are. They started to rebuild it from that end, because that's where all the services and all the, that's the highly religious end. So they wanted to build that as quickly as possible so they could start holding services again. And then they carried on building it, going towards the west front. We don't know, again, there's lots of mysteries, lots of things that we don't know. We think that probably when they reached the west front, the plan was to knock down the old Romanesque front and rebuild it again, following the Gothic style that the rest of the cathedral is built in. But probably they ran out of money because they didn't knock it down, they didn't rebuild it. And if you look, you can follow the line of the vault of the roof. They were out by about a metre. And magic green lights, thanks. So you can see there that's known as the Lincoln anomaly, the little kink in the roof, and you can see that from the tower as well. And if you look on the pillars and columns down the side, you can see there's an awful lot more stonework on the left than there is on the right. Okay, yes, I can never remember which one's which.
Okay, this is Dean's window, and this is the Bishop's eye and the Dean's eye.
That one's 24 feet wide and that one's 34.
Yeah. And this is the one that got damaged by Earl of Manchester's men in the English Civil War when Lincoln was royalist. It was besieged by the Roundheads, and after they'd taken the city of Lincoln, they damaged the stained glass in this window, mostly shot it out with musket fire and things like that. So it wasn't restored for a couple of 100 years after that, and when it was done with bits and pieces of stained glass that they found from other windows mostly. And so when you get there, rather than it telling a story, it's like a jigsaw puzzle where someone's just jammed the bits in. So it's like all the right pieces, but not necessarily in the right places. So we can see that as we walk along the clerestory that Dan was pointing out to you. So that's quite interesting. And it's quite rare for medieval cathedrals to have rose windows. Lincoln is one of the few medieval cathedrals with them, and to have two is outstanding as well.
I've just remembered the other thing to point out. If you look along this column, there is a rope that goes all the way up, and it goes all the way up and disappears into the ceiling. That is the rope that is used to ring the passing bell. So when a member of the royal family dies, so like the Queen did, they ring that once a minute for an hour, and it goes down through the layers of importance. So bishops get a different number of bell rings at a different interval. Bruce and myself, they just write a name, cross the names out of the register. But you will be able to see that rope in a couple of places as we're going up through the stairs, and you will see it disappearing into the bell chamber. You can also see the circular trapdoor. We will see that from the other side in a little while, and just about everything that has to be taken up the tower goes up through there. It's winched up rather than try and stagger up carrying it on your back through the stairs, because as you'll see it's narrow and tight. That's also the way down if there is an emergency.
We had someone on the tour last week who'd abseiled from it for charity, for a hospice, and he had some pictures of him just kind of disappearing down the hole and coming down the hole. So that was interesting. fire and rescue, or the paramedics, once every year or once every 2 years, have to do an exercise effectively rescuing one of us from the tower, and they use it, and they abseil down there with a stretcher, obviously. So hopefully we won't require them today. Otherwise, shall we go?
Yep.
Cool. So follow us. Once we go through the door, there's some hooks where you can leave stuff that you don't want to take all the way up to the top and bring all the way down. But take your cameras, take your water bottle if you've got one. Can be quite handy. Otherwise, any questions before we go? Everyone happy?
Yeah.
Good.
That's it. Right. You've got the key.
I've got the key. I have done it before where I've got here and I've said to the other guys, oh, could you just nip back and get the key? That was with Max. She played the part very well and didn't make me look too much of an idiot.
I'll take my rightful place as tail end.
Well, only if you want to, Dan. You can go at the front if you want.
I'll do the count everybody in through the door.
Yes. Whoop. I'm umming and ahhing about whether to take my fleece or not, but I'm going to go with no.
I checked the weather a bit ago. It's not going to rain. It's not that cold, I don't think.
Sure. Right, so I'll go up a bit and wait for you to join me. Yes, just follow me. We'll go a little way so that we can fit everyone into the staircase. So what made you want to do the tower tour then?
It's been about 7 years of living in Lincoln and I've just never
okay.
gotten around to it.
It's funny, isn't it? Places where you live, you very rarely do the thing that you...
Yeah. Well, and like everyone else has done, like that I know has either done like the tower tour or the wall tour or any of
Sure.
that. Yeah.
Good. Well, I hope you enjoy it. It is an interesting place to visit. Right, we'll go up a bit further.
I want to use it as like a handrail. Yeah. Cool.
So this is the bit where the chap got stuck. But none of us will.
I see what you mean, but it's quite narrow.
Yeah, well, yeah. It's a good test. And this is the Bishop's Eye. And you can see the higgledy-piggledy-ness of the stained glass. So we'll take a brief stop here, just let everyone catch their breath. Although we've not come very high, it always looks very high from up here.
It does.
This is the only bit where you can kind of look down and think, oh, it's a bit frightening. The rest of it, there's high parapets that you look through rather than anything else.
Right, it feels
So,
like sturdy.
Exactly, yes. Yes. I'll wait until I see Dan at the other end. Then I'll know that everyone's made it. There he is. So how's everybody feeling? Is that okay? Yep. Good. We'll have a couple of minutes just to catch our breath here. And so that you can look at the bishop's eye. And just before we go through the next door, there's a painted window, not stained glass, but a painted glass window from the Bromhead family. And those of you who remember the film Zulu will know that Lieutenant Bromhead, Michael Caine's character, was in that regiment that defended Rorke's Drift against the Zulus. And it's the same family. He was one of the sons, I believe, of that family. So that's an interesting window to look at just before we go up inside the pillar that will take us all the way to the top. So after this stop, the next stop is the clock chamber. And when we get to the clock chamber, we'll have done 51% of the climb. So not much further. Is everyone happy to proceed? Anyone else need a little while to catch their breath? No? And most people can't hear me anyway, so let's carry on. So this door here is on a spring, so you'll need to hold it to allow everyone else. Just hand it over to the next person, if you see what I mean.
The door's on a spring, so hold it open.
And the stairs get a bit narrower here. I always think this is a great example of British workmanship, where a Sparky, an electrician, has drilled a hole, possibly didn't have a drill and used a lump hammer, or just didn't do it particularly well. But you'll see what I mean when you get there.
Oh, amazing.
He made a neater job further up, but that one was obviously the apprentice.
Yeah, practice round.
We'll just stop here for people to catch their breath.
So this is inside that pillar?
Exactly, yes. Doesn't look big enough, does it? But clearly it is. Yeah, so we're inside one of the 4 pillars that holds the tower up. And there are staircases in each of them. This one is in the best repair, hence why we use it.
Are the other ones still used for people who work here then, or is it just this one?
Not really. One of them is suitable if this one was ever blocked by fire or something. We could escape from one of the other ones. But no, it isn't. I like some of the 1920s health and safety signs that we see as we come up. Yes.
All well disposed.
So I've obviously set far too slow a pace because everyone's managing to talk and breathe. So we'll carry on.
Yeah, thank you for the modern day electrics. I just think that for as long as this has existed, people have been using it to go upstairs in the dark. Looks like that.
Right, you are all going in there. I stand here to stop people overshooting, so to speak.
Thank you.
So this is the clock room. Go on inside. I'm only here to stop people overshooting the stairs and carrying on up without us. How have you found it so far?
Excellent.
Good.
No problem.
So about halfway now. So carry on into the clock room. We're going to spend about 10-15 minutes here, so plenty of time to catch your breath again. It's dead, definitely dead.
Looks like it.
There's a spider just there, but it's dead. That's what the gentleman was looking at.
I stayed in the house the other week that had.
How are you getting on? Are you enjoying it?
Yeah, it's fine.
Carry on into there, that's the clock room.
Oh, clock room now, is it?
Yeah, exactly, yeah.
Clock already, surely.
No. Well done, halfway. Carry on into the clock room. I'm only standing here to stop people carrying on up the stairs. I didn't used to do this, Dan, but we had one or two occasions where people just kept going. And,
Oh, right. Okay.
yeah.
I'll bear that in mind.
No, I think it's a good idea.
Yeah.
Makes it foolproof then. Want to do the trapdoor opening bit? Oh, well done.
Behold the trapdoor.
So, ladies and gentlemen, if you come across here, you'll see the tiny little trapdoor that we indicated with my laser earlier. This is the other side of it. So you have climbed a significant distance. As I say, 51% of the stairs is what we've achieved so far.
It's a lot bigger up here.
Yes, yes. And when you see the bell, the 5.5-ton bell, which is at our next stop, and you think, well, how did that fit through there? The answer is actually only just. So in the 19th century, when the old bell cracked, and they sent the old bell in pieces down to Whitechapel Foundry in London to be recast, when it came back to Lincoln a few weeks later, it was nice and shiny and whole, no cracks, no scratches. And they thought, well, how are we going to get it back into the... Actually, they'd had it in one of the smaller towers before, and they decided they were going to put it in this, the main tower. How do we get it up there? So they made this larger to fit it, but it was always going to be a snug fit. So they thought, how do we ensure that it doesn't get scratched or damaged on the way up there? And don't forget, 19th century, so we still had chimney sweeps then, small boys who climbed up factory chimneys, chipping away soot and other stuff. So they tied one of those to the bell and then hoisted it up from the floor. And a newspaper report from the Times says, the little sweep gave off a loud huzzah as he was hoisted into the air. And presumably being tied to a bell and sent up through, nice clean air and everything, was an improvement on climbing up a factory chimney, so possibly. And it wasn't until a year later that an Act of Parliament was passed such that you weren't allowed to send children younger than 9 up chimneys, and you couldn't apprentice people younger than 12 to be chimney sweeps. So there was a bit of progress in terms of health and safety and children working and things like that. But we've made improvements since. So that's the trot. What's that? Sorry.
Like the bell being hoisted.
Yes. Well, exactly. You get a bit of a bit of a wobble on, and you probably do need someone just to steady it. And whilst you could have stationed someone here with a pole perhaps, they went for the more creative solution of tying someone to the bell. It's only a small boy, it was fine.
How much does the bell weigh?
It weighs 5.5 tons.
So a 9-year-old boy's got to stop a 5.5 ton bell moving.
Well, he's just really acting as a kind of buffer as you come up to stop it bashing into the side. But yes, you're right with the physics of it. You happy letting it down on your own? Yeah? Do you want the gloves?
No.
Roughy tufty. Well done.
Yes.
So do you want to tell them about clocks and things?
Is that where the paramedics practice from?
Yeah.
Yes, that's where the guy abseiled. Yeah, exactly. Yes. So in about 3 minutes, you'll hear the quarter bells ring the 3/4 hour, and that's kind of our cue to be packing up in here to get up so that we hear the main bell go when we're up in the bell chamber. But still a little bit of time to tell you about the clock. Feel free to come up and have a look at the clock. Unfortunately, the clock face here is telling the wrong time, but the correct time is on the electronic clock, which is what it works on now. And it would be really nice if the works department matched them, because there was a chap in this picture here, George Stoll, who worked for the works department. And his job, as well as doing lots of other things, was to wind the clock. And he wound the clock twice a day. And that entailed coming up the stairs that you've just come up in the morning and in the evening, and winding, attaching a windlass to the spigot that you can see there, and winding it manually by hand twice a day. And once a week he also wound up the chiming mechanism as well. And just like a grandfather clock, it worked on large weights suspended on cables inside this trunking over here. And the weights are still here. And it was hoisted up here as he wound it. And this contains sand, so that if the cables ever broke and one of the weights or all of the weights came tumbling down, they wouldn't go through the floor, they'd hit the sand and have the energy dissipated that way. The other thing that we've got here is a piece of wood with a handle on the end. And it's attached. And it's attached at a pivot. And this is to stop the bell chiming. It's a mechanical lock, effectively. It hooks into these cables here. This end hooks into these cables. And if there's a funeral or possibly a wedding going on and they don't want the clock chiming during the service, they can stop it there. They also stop it if there's filming going on. So the Da Vinci Code a while ago was filmed here and they stopped it chiming for that. And more recently, Napoleon, the Joachim Phoenix film, where Lincoln Cathedral stood in for Notre Dame. More observant people will notice that we have quarter bells, which means there are 4 of them that ring the quarter hours, and yet we have 5 cables that were all moving then. And that's because the chime, which some people call the Westminster chime, more correctly it's the Cambridge chime, and it comes from a piece of I Know That My Redeemer Liveth, from a piece by Elgar, I believe. But there have to be 5 cables because one of the notes sounds so quickly after the other one that if you had just 4 clappers, it wouldn't quite work. So there has to be one bell with 2 clappers with 2 cables controlling it. So we'll hear them again for the hour. Poor old George was replaced by 2 electrical motors in 1980. Even before 1980, I believe Lincolnshire did have electricity, but George never took days off. He loved his job. There's an ATV piece of black and white film on YouTube where George is asked by the reporter how accurate the bell is, and he switches on a radio, may even have been this radio, it looks a bit more modern than I think, and he says, well, let's just check, and he switches on the radio for time signal, and as the time signal finishes, the bell chimes, so his clock was always spot on, which is why I say it's such a shame that the clock face here, which is the only clock face for the cathedral, there's no external clock face. Everything went on the chimes, perhaps because wherever you were in the town, you couldn't quite see a clock face, or perhaps people couldn't tell the time. I'm not entirely sure. So that was poor old George. And when he retired in 1980, he only enjoyed or spent 1 year in retirement before he died. And I believe he had a heart attack and died. And I suppose the possibly two morals from that story are, if you're doing a job you love, keep doing it, don't retire. Or maybe you've only got so many heartbeats and don't use them all up climbing up loads and loads of stairs. I'm not entirely sure. So, shall we go on up to the bell chamber? There are lots of things we could tell you about in here, but I think the bells are more interesting, and we also want to get there for the 12 o'clock chimes, and we also want to get up on the top.
Just have a little look at the colour of the stone and compare it to what you can see when you go to the next chamber, because this has always been protected from the elements, so this is pretty much the original colour of the stone.
Good stuff. Onwards and upwards. So there's a metal bar here right at my head height, in fact at my face height, which I could bash into. Some of you coming up to my size, don't hit your head on it. There's yellow and black tape, just duck. And there's a bit of a step across here, but it's fine. Just grab hold of the rope with your right hand and on and up you go. I feel like I'm walking through loads of cobwebs here, so I'm obviously breaking them for you before you, before you come up.
Was the tallest board in the world.
For over 200 years.
Gosh.
So what I'd like everybody to do is grab a wet wipe from one of these two containers, and then I'm going to give you a set of ear defenders. They're clean, but let's assume they're not, and you can therefore give them a clean with your wet wipe as I pass them to you. initially, rather than clean these, just pass them down to everyone else. So everyone just take a wet wipe from the containers here and you can start cleaning your ear defenders. They are clean, but we haven't used them for a week, and let's just assume that they're not 100% clean. So wipe the earpieces. Still need some. How many more do you need? I'll keep one. Good. I'm just going to squeeze past you. So has everyone got a wet wipe to clean their ear defenders with? Good. So you can be doing that while I'm talking. Lincoln Cathedral was the tallest building in the world for 200 years because the 272-foot tower that we're climbing now had on top of it a spire made of wood, probably oak, covered in lead, so a very heavy structure that doubled the height. Cool. And at the time, before that, the tallest building in the world was the Great Pyramid at Giza, obviously in Egypt. And Lincoln Cathedral exceeded that. But there was a storm in, this says 1549, I think it was actually 1548, which blew down the main spire. There were smaller spires on the two smaller towers. They stayed up, but the storm blew the first one, the big one, down, fell across the roof, damaged the roof. It was the middle of night, but it still managed to kill 2 people. The architect at the time said, we'll have to take down the other 2 spires, and the townspeople objected, and there were riots in the street, so it wasn't for another 200 years that the 2 other spires were taken down. So it wasn't the tallest building in the world after that point, after 1548. So you can see Great Tom, the big bell. This is the one that the small child was tied to. This is the one that was hoisted through the floor. There's another trapdoor there just to the right. The red clapper here is the one that's controlled by the clock mechanism. That's the one that's going to move in about 6 minutes, but we'll get warning of that because we'll hear the quarter bells go off. You don't have to put your ear defenders on for the quarter bells. They're quite loud, but they're not very loud. We're obviously standing very close here to Great Tom. It is loud. But remember, until we had a health and safety audit, we just used to stick our fingers in our ears. So it was only as a result of that we got these. And the health and safety audit was because someone broke their ankle on the roof. So these don't prevent you from breaking your ankle. So do take care when you get up on the roof, and we'll talk to you about that.
What is the lifespan of a bell, and how many bells have been used in history of this place? Yeah,
this is the 3rd bell, and they last quite a long time. Depends how well they're made. I think the one that cracked probably had a flaw in the foundry process, in the casting of the bell, and they probably should have sent it back for a refund. But this one's been going strong since the 1800s. There is a tale that it was actually swung as a bell. So the way bells are rung, they cock it up and it moves. I don't believe that it ever was swung in this tower, but there's a story that one of the vergers saw the tower moving as it was told and said we can't do it that way, and therefore it's fixed. I don't believe that story, but I may be wrong. I can't find the historical documents that confirm or deny it. About 5 minutes to go then. So above the bell, this is a flagpole that until the start of the Second World War was up on top of the tower, flying the Union flag. When the Second World War started, RAF Waddington and Scampton, and probably Coningsby as well, said that adds a hazard or a height hazard to the height of the tower. You obviously can't take the tower down, but could you drop the flagpole? So they did for the whole of the Second World War, and they've never put it back up again. I always think that it must be on some committee agenda somewhere, and they just never get to that bit when they have the meeting. And it's Church of England, so eventually they will decide to do something with that flagpole, but they haven't yet. So it remains in the down position. My interest in the tower is built upon peregrine falcons. And over here we've got a plastic box that contains the controls for 3 peregrine cams. And the peregrines this year laid their eggs. You see where there's more light coming in just to the right of the plastic box? So there's some netting there that covers the louvers that let the sound out from the bells. And the other side of that, there's a gravel-filled area where the female bird this year laid 4 eggs, 4 chicks hatched, 4 juveniles successfully fledged. Unfortunately, mum disappeared around the same time. She was probably either died or was killed. And so dad was having to raise the chicks on his own, or the juveniles on his own. But a new female came in, much larger female, and trying to woo him, I suppose. But at the same time, she was attacking the juveniles. So we called her the WSM, the Wicked Stepmother bird. And she succeeded in probably driving off the juveniles sooner than they should have left this area, because normally they'd be taught by their parents how to hunt, how to catch prey. They'd be dropping live prey to them in midair and they'd be catching it. That didn't really happen this early part of this summer. The juveniles moved to the water tower, the other side of the castle, just past Eastgate. And they were seen there a few times, but they may have left the area by now, again, perhaps a bit early for them this year. So what was going to be a wonderful story of 4 juveniles being raised became a bit more dramatic than that. It's a bit of a shame. I did, up until this morning, live stream all the action from that nest. I don't live stream anymore because the action... So I particularly like the way the sound continues, or the vibration continues quite a long way afterwards, and it is, and it's really worthwhile coming on this 11:15 tour, because if you come on the 1:15 tour, you only get 2. You only get 2 bombs, and I always say to them, if I'm guiding that, you should go back and get a discount for your ticket, because it costs exactly the same. But I always feel it's a bit like Tom and Jerry when Tom's been hit over the head with a frying pan and it's like this for a few seconds afterwards. Dan, did you want to add anything about this bell chamber?
So it is 60 feet tall, 40 feet square, which...
The last time the tower fell down was 1237.
And
So
it's 12:05 now.
Exactly. Yeah.
I love that. All that to you.
So before we leave here, if you want to put your ear defenders back in the cabinet, you've probably got a wet wipe in your hand or in your pocket. There's also a bin up there, so you can dump that.
Okay, go ahead.
Happy?
Yeah.
Thank you.
I think they've got like a medieval thing going on.
I think there's falconry and other things. I think there's jousting, possibly jousting. Yeah.
Not going on today, isn't it?
Yeah, you've been prepared because we watched Knight's Tale last week.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Brilliant. Brilliant.
Actually, yeah.
Yeah, that's nice. Yeah.
I missed that bit though.
It's been a while since I've seen jousting at the castle.
I've never seen Justin. There's so much in Lincoln I've not done, and I've lived here for 7 years. That's so embarrassing. That's shameful, really, isn't it?
I don't think you ever do the things in your own town or city, do you? No.
No.
Unless you do them as a school trip when you're a kid.
Yeah, so to come here later, you basically just miss it unless you make the effort.
So folks, next stop is top of the tower. We'll be out in the fresh air. The steps get a bit narrower and a bit more uneven, so watch your step. Right at the top, there's a small doorway that you have to duck through to get out. I'll be standing outside there with my hand on the granite lintel so that you hit your head on my hand rather than on the granite. So it's not me trying to touch your head, it's me trying to protect your head. So bear with me. Right, see you at the top.
Why?
It's a lot of hand for it. Sword fight.
Oh, I see.
It's one of the reasons that it's a shame.
Okay.
If you're right, I'm trying to climb sword fight.
I mean, if there was a siege, I'd be long on by now, because I'm not fast enough to get these things quickly. Yeah. All of the focus is not slipping off on my big thing.
We're just going to stop for a rest. We are nearly there actually. I just want everyone to catch up. There's a couple of little windows up here where pigeons sometimes nest. You sometimes see a pigeon sitting on eggs through them.
What's off through that way?
I've never been through there. There, little walkways that are quite precarious, I imagine. Yes. Right, we'll carry on. And we have reached the top. Well, I have anyway. Yeah, just go over there and I'll give you a health and safety brief in a moment.
Thank you.
Just pop over there. Well done, you've reached the top.
Oh, it's all right.
Well done, you've reached the top. I'll let you know where you can and can't walk in a moment, but at the moment you're in a good area. Welcome to the top, well done. Well done. Congratulations, you've reached the top.
I just got to get to the bottom.
Oh, there, you'll be fine. You'll be fine. We'll take the lift on the way down.
Me and that accent.
Congratulations, you've reached the top.
I think it's going to be worse going down.
No, you'll be fine. As I say, we'll take the lift on the way down.
That's cute.
It's a tough old climb, isn't it? But congratulations, you've reached the top.
Good breeze. Oh, wow.
First thing you see when you get here is the first aid box.
Do you need it?
Oh, I see what you mean. About low.
Congratulations, you've made it.
Wow.
Who's running?
Annabeth, Lisa. Huh?
Congratulations, you've made it. So just stay in this area for a moment until I can brief you on where you can and can't stand, but you're fine at the moment.
Watch your head, Brian.
Well done, young man, you've made it. Congratulations.
Watch your head.
Get in front of me because you're not as tall as I am.
Dan, I'm not going to put my hand there for you. Can you hand those out?
Yeah.
And I didn't bring the binoculars, so I don't know if anyone needs them.
We can do it.
So folks, congratulations on making it to the top of the tower. It's not been raining this morning. If it had been raining, this lead would be very slippery. As you can see, I haven't fallen on my bottom, so it's not very slippery. You can come up as high as where these wires run horizontally around it. Don't go above it. There is some yellow and black tape. It's mostly weathered, so go on the wires rather than the yellow and black tape. You can obviously see for miles up here. There are a few panoramic photographs that you can look at. We'll point out other things. We'll just give you your bearings. So this is south, so obviously behind me is north, that's west, and that's east. Otherwise, you can walk all the way round. You can come up as high as I am. There's obviously lots of things to trip over. Be careful. But otherwise, we'll spend 15 minutes or so up here. If you want to know where your house is, I have no idea. I don't know where you live.
Well, it's a long
On a good day, you can see the towers of the Humber Bridge to the north. You can see Boston Stump over in that direction on the horizon. And I don't think you can quite make them out, but you can see the
No, not above. No. Yeah.
Sorry.
That's okay.
If you look to the west, you can of course see the kink in the roof from above that we pointed out when we were on the floor.
Yeah.
What are you actually doing, Brian? You filming?
Yes.
What's underneath the cover over here?
The green?
It looks like a copper cover or something.
Yes, it is copper. It's part of the reinforcement for the tower, which was in a pretty parlous state in the 1920s.
Okay.
But it's also because that's where the main bells that are chimed by bell ringers are, and it lets the sound out in an acoustically pleasing way.
Okay.
So it covers those two eventualities.
So we were looking at those two towers, so we're going to be up there.
Don't feel that at all.
I've always wanted to come up here when I've had gigs on the castle.
Oh, yeah. Genius idea.
I'm not sure if it's sound.
Like it would just blast all the leaves out.
Does you want another picture, Jeff, of somebody else taking us?
And I'll post them on the thing.
The old city was the old city.
Yes.
But we're on the way
Well, the first wall was a Roman wall, which obviously the
We
north
figured out where
is
our room is on that little back tip of the hotel where the trees all are. So when we open our windows, we're looking out over the back. Yeah, it's nice.
It's very hot.
Did you spot the window over there?
Somebody sent me a message last night.
On the west side.
Still 90 degrees Fahrenheit.
No, but I think
Ellis Mill is really visible. Yes. Have you
I wasn't paying attention.
Did you walk around there?
No, we didn't see that. Well, we went to the Lincolnshire Museum, but
Okay,
we didn't
okay.
have time to get to the museum.
Ellis Mill is interesting because it's just on a residential street now. So you're walking past these terraced houses and suddenly there's a windmill there. And you can visit it. I'm not sure how often it's open, but it not really. I mean, they probably do still have milling days there, but not commercially.
Eyes, okay, speed.
Yeah, they're for the steeplejacks who have to go up and
Oh, okay. When
service the weather vanes. The peregrine falcons, when they first fledge, they tend to use this as a nursery area, and they love sitting on the weather vanes and flapping their wings and going round as if they're on a carousel. So it's a great thing to see. Normally, after they've fledged, I'll spend a few hours up here on a couple of days to film them and things. Yes.
Are these cell phone towers?
Yes, these are the transmitters that might upset a pacemaker if you were fitted with one. But obviously the cell phone companies pay quite a lot of money to the cathedral to house their equipment because Lincolnshire is a very flat county and this is one of the highest points, so it makes sense commercially and physically.
y'all on the picture page that? Yeah. Okay, because I've been putting stuff on there, so that's the one of y'all come up the stairs is great. It'll be in there.
So people that were asking about Ellis Mill, it's visible from here. You can also see that water tower that I was telling you about. Don't think there are peregrines there anymore, but I'll have a good look with my binoculars.
Like there's Potter's Gate in the street. There's a modern building, and just go up across the street, and that's that chapel. And so the arboretum is all the green space on the
So looking east, as some of us are doing at the moment, if you go out to the horizon and turn right, part way along you'll see a tower sticking up. That's what's known colloquially as Boston Stump. It's the tower of St. Botolph's Church in Boston. Boston used to be a very rich town. It was a port town, not so rich nowadays. But the tower there is 1 foot higher than this tower. But their tower is built at sea level and our tower is built on a hill. So obviously the whole difference between height and altitude comes into play there. But that's the River Witham, easy for me to say, that makes its way down to the Wash and comes out near Boston.
So the RAF used this as a
Yes.
Which way is it on the bridge?
This way. Yes.
Those which power station?
The closest one I think is Cottam. None of them are operational as power stations anymore. I think their cooling towers will be coming down at some stage. But as you know, they were coal-fired power stations on the River Trent.
Yeah.
So that's the Trent Valley running through there. So yeah.
We live in Telford, which is about 3 miles, 3 4 miles from Iron Bridge.
Oh, okay.
About 5 years ago, they blasted the towers, took them down, and I was at work, and we heard the rumble about 3 miles away.
Yeah.
And it wasn't just a bang, it was a rumble.
Yes, I bet.
Down,
Yeah.
About 10 seconds.
Yeah. You used to be able to see 3 power stations from up here, and I think those are the only cooling towers that are left now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You didn't see a defenders to wear.
Yes.
A few years back, we were in
So you glad you came on the tour?
Oh yeah.
Yeah?
Very
Good.
neat.
Good. Excellent. So we'll spend a few more minutes up here, folks. If you would like either Dan or I to take photos for you with your phones, more than happy to do so if your arms aren't long enough for your group.
There is
So-
pottery. It used to go out through gargoyles. but then as the
Yes.
pouring off,
Yes, this is all lead, and they're lead over wood.
Victorians put in
And how often do they redo those?
guttering for the pipe.
The lead does last quite a long time. When they need to redo it, they roll it all up and it gets remelted and reused. But the thickness decreases over the years, so it depends on atmospheric conditions and things like that. Now that air is a lot cleaner, they tend to last a lot longer, but I couldn't give you an exact number of years that it
And
lasts.
the change ringing bells are in which tower?
They're in the one with the green top,
Okay.
so the southwest tower.
Okay.
And the green top serves the purpose of letting the sound out, but it also strengthens that tower, which obviously has the weight of the bells in it.
It's a fantastic
13.
Yeah, I believe so, yes, yeah. When you do if you do the roof tour.
We did, yeah.
Okay, you've been in there, yeah.
Which was fascinating.
Yes,
But
yeah, and you
that's
get
where
to
they
walk
told
along.
us about this one, so I'm glad they did.
Yeah. Yeah, I think you need to do both.
Yeah.
It is interesting, both of them, I think.
Yeah.
This one is more of a climb, obviously, but yeah, you spend longer inside the structure of the roof on the roof tour.
But there's also very little health and safety as well.
Yeah.
It's hard to believe, but the lights are on here.
Yes, it is, isn't it?
So this is the bit you don't want to put your fingers on.
No.
Yeah, I'm going to do that. and lots of exercise with steep hills. And today is like we got conditions. I think this will be good. Yeah.
Something like 13,000 steps a day. We'll do that for you.
Oh yeah. Aaron had a day a few days ago that he got 30,000, which is just incredible.
Where did you go?
I went for a run in the morning, and then we walked around the nature preserve in the afternoon.
Nice. Is that out on the west side of town?
There's one sort of to the southwest. Yeah.
That sounds really lovely.
Yeah. That's nice.
So we're back at the clerestory. This is the Bromhead window that I was telling you about.
Oh, yeah.
Arthur Bromhead.
Well, not all the way down.
Do that filming on every tour you do?
No, I'm doing it today just for interest, really.
Oh, right.
I can send it to. I'll send a link to it to our new guides,
Oh, right.
or to people that are thinking of becoming guides, perhaps. This is the Bishop's Eye, obviously. The higgledy-piggledy medieval stained glass. This is the squeezeway where the man got stuck.
Oh, is it?
Yes. He got stuck on the way up, obviously. Took a little while. I wasn't on the tour. Took a little while to free him. Once they'd freed him, he was this side, and he said, "Does that mean I can't go on the tour now?"
Oh.
It's kind of, well, what do you think, sir? But it was a bit like that Winnie the Pooh cartoon,
Yeah.
where you kind of think, well, just leave him there for 2 weeks. He'll lose enough weight to just come straight out.
Oh, we're here.
We're here. We made it.
Made it. Wasn't as bad as I thought coming down. Actually.
Nah, piece of cake.
Thank
So
you
it'd be a
very much.
shame to hurt your ankle
I know,
just on
by
this
tying up
last
that
bit.
bit.
Yes. So be careful. Be careful here. This is the last hazard, effectively. Be careful with the steps here.
Thank you so much. That was phenomenal.
I'm glad you enjoyed it.
Yes.
I'll just say a few words to everyone once everybody's down, and I'll collect in your, if you wanted to start collecting in your lanyards for me, that would be handy.
It's a great view of the beams.
That's the Bishop's Eye. Bishop's Eye, and that's the Dean's Eye.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Because he's here.
Yes, I suppose there's a clue there.
Remember that.
You're welcome.
They said that it was.
Can I give them to you to hold for now?
That one. Did they say you have to work for it? That's what they said. Yeah. This is too high.
I wanted to invite you. Aaron and I work at NASA in Houston.
Oh,
So
okay.
if you're ever in Houston, Texas,
How
we can
cool.
give you a
How
tour
cool.
of mission control for the International Space Station.
That would be so fantastic.
He's an astromaterials curator, so
Oh, wow.
the labs where we have the moon rocks and other astromaterials, we can give you a tour there. So
I've got my own card.
wonderful.
I unfortunately don't work for NASA, but I'm a nature photographer, so
very
yeah.
cool. Okay.
But what do you do for NASA?
So I have a couple roles. The really cool one is I'm a Capcom, so it's the position and
Oh,
mission
wow.
control that talks to the
Yes, yes, yes.
and then I also do integration for the science experiments that we launch and return.
Okay, okay.
Making sure their schedule works.
So have you been Capcom for a shuttle mission?
No, I didn't start until 2012 after
Okay.
the shuttle program ended,
Okay.
unfortunately. But yeah, but for
How amazing.
it's really fun, and it just
So you're an astrophysicist or?
physics. Yep.
Sure.
Yep. Although most of my colleagues are like like electrical engineers, aerospace engineers. I took a little bit of a different path.
Okay. Wow. No, when you said Houston, Texas, I didn't immediately think mission control, but here you go. Yeah. That's amazing. That's amazing.
This is great. Aaron and I were just over 40, but it seems like when you hit 40, there's this thing that pops off in your brain. You're like, oh, I want to look at birds closer now.
I think you're right. You don't become a bird. I'm not really a bird watcher, but you don't really become a bird watcher until you get to a certain age.
Yeah.
I'm not sure what that certain age is. I'll give you one of my cards as
I saw a
well.
meme that was like, one day it's just birds singing, and the next day it's a yellow-footed warbler.
Exactly. Yes. Yeah. And North American birds are so fascinating compared to European. Well, we always think grass is always greener, isn't it? So, yeah.
I'm the collector.
Mind your ankles here.
Thank you. I got a cool experience.
So folks, I'll just take 2 more minutes of your time to say thank you for coming on the tower tour with us. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did enjoy it and you'd like to leave a review on TripAdvisor, this is Dan and I'm Bruce. We were your tower guides today. The cathedral obviously has a lot more things to see than the tower. There is included in your admission charge is a floor tour. If you go back to the entrance desk, you can find out when the next floor tour is. That's a fascinating tour, and apart from 1 or 2 steps over there, it doesn't involve any steps at all. So, a nice change from this. Obviously, this is the 3rd largest cathedral in the United Kingdom, so there's plenty to see. There's an exhibition area, an education centre. The exhibition area, which is the other side of the gift shop, is fascinating, particularly the carvings and things like that. So if you've got some time still to spend in the cathedral, go and have a look at that. But there's a lot going on in the Bailgate this weekend. There's medieval stuff going on in the castle, so jousting and some falconry and some other things as well. So if you care to wander over there, you can see all of that. Otherwise, thanks very much. It's been a lovely tour. I think we were very lucky with the weather. I hope you've been.
A beautiful evensong service at 5:30.
Wow! Yeah. With particularly with the choir.
I am reading.
Yeah.
So part of the choir. Yeah.
So thank you, folks. Have you got anything to add, Dan?
No, just a thing with TripAdvisor. If you didn't like it, my name's Roy.
All right.
Thank you very much.
Hope to see.
Thank you.
Guys, you want to take that? Go out. Sure. Can we come back in?
Yes.
Have it already.